If you've ever accidentally pressed F3 while holding shift at the same time, you've probably noticed this. This is called the pie chart. At first glance, it looks like something that you would never use. And to an extent, you're correct. Its intended use is performance debugging. But upon further inspection, players found that it has a lot of power, to the point that it may be considered cheating. You see, the pie chart has a lot of different metrics, including the entities and block entities inside the render distance. Block entities include chests, and the chests, spawners, shulker boxes, bells, enchanting tables, campfires, and beacons. And I figure it's quite easy to see how that can quickly become a problem. In the context of speedrunners and survival players, it can be used to find things like villages, nether fortresses, desert temples, buried treasures, and sometimes bastions. But in the context of an SMP or an anarchy server, it can be used to find player bases, both on surface and underground. A technique called PIDA or pieray was developed. There are 3 different use case scenarios, starting with the first one, which is finding structures, like another fortress or a village. First, you activate the pie chart by pressing F3 while pressing shift. Navigating the pie chart is done with the numbers on your keyboard. Navigate to tick, level, entities, and then block entities. Currently, we are looking for another fortress. The block we need is a mob spawner. If you already have it, then turn down your render distance until you don't. Slowly increase the render distance until you have the block you are looking for. In my case, it's a mob spawner, and yeah, my number is 11. Now we need to reload the pie chart. The thing with reloading the pie chart is that you have to go down by like 5 chunks, and then it actually reloads. Increase your render distance until it's 1 less than it was when you detected the spawner. Press F3 and G to toggle the chunk borders, and go 1 chunk in every direction until the block that you're looking for pops up on the pie chart. Here, don't have it in that direction, don't have it in this direction. Then we go here, it pops up. So now we know that the fortress is 10 chunks away from here in that direction. Let's actually test it. Also, this one is really hard to see because it's just like in the ground. The only open part is like here. Jesus Christ. The second one is finding bases on multiplayer, which is basically the same as finding structures, except you look for things like ender chests, shulker boxes, enchanting tables, basically anything a player would use. Don't look at the chest metric, as it basically shows up everywhere due to natural generation. Also, you can use the entities tab, as it shows things like villages and ender pearl stasis chambers. The third one is finding buried treasures, and the process is a bit different. After loading up the pie chart, navigate to Game Renderer, Level, and Entities. Stay on that menu, because the difference between Tick and Game Renderer is that Tick will show whatever is in the render distance, and Game Renderer will show whatever is in the chunks in your field of view. Now lower your render distance to about 5 chunks to not load in any unwanted chests. Now we need to scan around the area to see where the block entities count spikes. Here's about nothing. Also, reloading the pie chart is really useful because when it goes up, it tends to go up smoothly, not giving you the actual right value. Yeah, the spike is happening like right here. Pull up chunk borders, because what is happening right now is that we are starting to load in a chunk which has a buried treasure. That's when the game starts loading it in. I was turning left, so I'm gonna turn to the left corner of my screen, and it's in that direction. To check if it's the chunk that you're standing in, just turn to the opposite direction. Yeah, the spike is not there. Doing the same thing to detect when does the spike happen. Right here, so turning to the left corner. It's either this one or this one, or maybe even further. Yeah, it's not this one. Going to check this chunk. Yeah, it seems to be this one. In your F3 menu, locate the chunk coordinates. They are basically the same as regular coordinates, X, Y, and Z. The Y coordinate doesn't really matter to us because the buried treasure always spawns at X9 and Z9. So we gotta go to that exact block accordingly and start digging down. I'm gonna reload a few times to see if the spike is still there, and it is. Yep. Before I perish. Yep, we have it. Many server owners debated whether or not to leave pieray be. Some decided to allow it, either due to being anarchy or because it's a built-in feature. Others decided to ban it, utilizing plugins to counter it. As for speedrunners, PIDA was allowed due to it being a built-in feature, all except for 1.14.4, as the pie chart wasn't functional in vanilla in that subversion. Pieray completely renovated both speedrunning and base hunting. It's a huge part of hypermodern, the strat that speedrunners used and continue to use to achieve insane times like these.
Holy shit!
As for base hunting, finding underground bases has gotten significantly easier, as well as the bases on surface in the surrounding area. Huge shout out to Penney and thesto for providing information on how to use pieray in different use case scenarios, as well as themisterepic for providing his opinion as a server owner. Thank you for watching.